Welcome back to the incredible Rockets Propaganda Channel. I am your man's AK Infinity. Follow me on Twitter at AK_Infinity_VVS. Today we're going to touch on the top 3 underrated storylines going into the 2024-2025 season. But before we get into all of that, I'm going to need y'all to hit that like button. Leave a comment for me down below. Let me know what y'all thinking about the 2024-2025 season. What are your expectations? And hit that sub button for me too, man. We just hit that 300 subscriber milestone. I'm excited about that, man. Appreciate everybody who's been on this ride with me from day one. Appreciate all the new subscribers. Let's try to get to that 500 subscriber mark before the season starts, though. Now, let's go ahead and get into the ish.
Again, look at Tari Eason, and that's that little poke away. He does a great job using his feet and hands, timing, and just taking off for the jam, man.
Big body Tari Eason on the way back, man. I can't wait, man. Tari is, I want to say he's my second favorite Rocket, right behind Jabari Smith Jr., man. I love me some Tari Eason. When he on the floor, it's a bunch of chaos, and I love chaotic basketball. But Tari, man, he only played the 22 games last season, but I don't think people are really paying enough attention to the impact that Tari Eason is going to have for us, that I'm expecting that he's going to have for us in this coming season. Everybody been excited about, Reed Sheppard, Cam Whitmore, Jabari Smith going into his third season, Sengun coming back off an injury. Jalen Green is just a make or break season for him. But I think the Tari Eason story, is just as big, if not bigger than all of those, because as we know, man, when Tari on the floor, we're a better team. When Tari is on the floor, the Rockets are a better Rockets. We rocket better than anybody else when Tari on that floor, man. We do the damn thing when he on that floor. Both ends, offense and defense. He's not much of a ball mover on offense, but when he's on defense, for example, he plays fast on defense. He creates turnovers, forcing us to play faster on offense, and that complements. That's two-way basketball, man. When he's on the floor, I think I couldn't find where I found that number, man. There was a number that I saw that when Tari Eason was on the floor, I think last season we forced a lot more turnovers than with anybody else on the team, and they got us in the fast break, man. They get the offense going, they get shooters shooting, they get everybody touching the ball in their hands, getting in rhythm. Every hooper likes to play fast. Well, most hoopers like to play fast. It's an easier way to get in rhythm, and I think Tari Eason is a guy that he may not be a ball mover, he may not be a facilitator or nothing, but that's his way of contributing to the team. And plus, he's a vibes guy too, man. You can tell, man, when guys playing with Tari, they just feel like, they feel bigger about themselves, man. They feel like they got more swag. On defense, they feel like, I can gamble a little bit. I know Tari gonna come cover for me. On offense, man, if I shoot this ball, he gonna grab the offensive rebound and put it up for us, and we're gonna score anyway on that position. So Tari Eason is one of them guys, man. He one of them ones that I think when it's time to contend, he gonna be a high level role player. And now I don't think he gonna get no max or nothing, but he gonna get paid. That's a guy that I think we have to keep, like, no matter what. That's just my opinion, though. Now, on to the next storyline.
Tipped it in. Here's the Jack Jumpers chance. McVay, 2 on the clock. Oh, no! Jack McVay! Simply incredible.
I gotta say, man, Jumping Jack McVay. I love his name. The Jack McVay part. He sounds like a serial killer from the 1960s, man. Tell me you don't like that name. I might mess around and name my first son Jack McVay. Jack McVay Infinity. I like how that sounds a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man, Jack McVay. What does he bring to the table, and why do I think he's an underrated story going into the season? The boy's a shooter, man. He roll out that bed, and he keep the scope on him at all times, and his aim is accurate like a mug. And he's not afraid to take and make big shots. He'll shoot it from anywhere, and that's a skill set that we could really use on this team, man. I think he would be a good insurance coming off the bench. Let's say we have some guys nicked up. Dylan was nicked up a little bit last season towards the end. Cam too got nicked up a little bit towards the end. Tari was gone for the whole season. I think Jack McVay is a guy that he can come in. He's a veteran. He's going to be an NBA rookie, but he's a basketball veteran. He's going to come in, fill whatever slot that he need to fill out on the wings. He can space the floor. The ball don't stick to his hands. He's a ball mover. He's not a ball stopper at all. He plays team ball. A lot of them Aussie guys, man, from your Steven Adams to your Josh Giddey to, if you remember, Matthew Dellavedova back in the gap too. He was a really good team player. And Dante Exum right now too, playing for the Mavericks. Like, these Aussie guys, man, they know how to hoop. I know Steven Adams is New Zealand, but all them guys from down under, man, they know how to ball, man. They know how to play team basketball. And on a team full of, 8 guys on rookie deals. So we got eight kids on this team. Well, we really got 9 guys on rookie deals too, if you consider Jack McVay one of the young guys. But you got all these young kids on this team, man. Jack McVay gonna bring some maturity to the locker room. He gonna bring some basketball IQ. He's gonna be just a guy that when he comes in, he might not even be flashy, but when he in the game, we're gonna feel real confident about whatever lineup we throw out there with him. I'd like to see him out there with a lot of Şengün and Reed Sheppard lineups, to be honest. The all Caucasian lineups, the three man Caucasian lineups. I want to see that, man. I want to see these guys, move the ball. You got Şengün, that is an elite passing big man. He's really an elite passer, period. But an elite passing big man. And you got Jack McVay and Reed Sheppard. Guys, you can kick the ball out too. Make it hard for teams to double team. I think, like I said, man, Jack McVay is going to fit into this team. I think he's a very malleable player. I think he's going to be able to contribute on both ends. The defense ain't bad, but we'll see. Sometimes you may see a guy play overseas, and then when it comes to the NBA, the defense might be a lot better or a lot worse. It's just kind of hard to see how the defense will translate. Even when I watched Jae'Sean Tate's defense before he came to the Rockets, I was like, it didn't look all that great. Then I saw him in the NBA. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's gonna translate. That physical style of defense. But yeah, man, that's my second little storyline that I think we probably need to be talking about a little bit more now. Let's go ahead and move on over to the third and final one.
What I will say though is I think that being in the spot that the team is in right now, I think is really only up from here. So it's like if you add to that, we put some vets in there like we did with the young crew that they got. I'm excited about, some of the things that we'll be able to do, and it's like that sweet spot of trying to turn young talent into something. And I think, that's one thing that I'll be able to do is get the best out of my teammates.
Now, Fred VanVleet, man, I've loved this signing. He's the guy that I wanted over James Harden, not because he's a better player than James Harden, not because of anything else, but I thought he was going to fit the team a lot better than James Harden was. James Harden probably would have got us in the playoffs, probably would have won more games, we probably would have looked better, but that was probably just going to last for a season, and we're not sure what that would look like afterwards. Fred VanVleet, on the other hand, I feel like really helped a lot of these young guys come along, man. I think one of the biggest beneficiaries of that was Alperen Şengün as well. But I want to talk about his contract situation and a potential Fred VanVleet trade, because I think there is a realistic scenario where the Rockets come out, maybe they overperform. Maybe Reed Sheppard is looking more like, like he's ready to take the keys to the car and, and drive us across country. Maybe Amen Thompson, sharpens up his handle and he's ready to take the keys to the car. Maybe Jalen Green, might be ready to take the keys to the car. But one of them three guys, if one of them three guys really come to the party this season, there is a scenario where Fred VanVleet could get moved at the trade deadline, because we got to remember, he's technically an expiring contract, y'all. He has a team option for his third year next season. That's a team option. So the Rockets could, in theory, they could, dangle him as a expiring contract and possibly get back a lot of good pieces, man. I don't know what, I don't know who. I'm not speculating no names. I don't want to put no names out there, nothing like that. Obviously, I'm a nobody. I don't know nothing. But that's something that could happen. I just kind of want to prepare everybody's minds for that, because, don't be shocked. This is the NBA, man. This is a business first. This is a business more than anything. I know we come for the ball, but, there's no ball without the business. So, yeah, I'm not hoping Fred gets moved because I'd like for us to move forward with Fred when we go into contention, man. I think he'll be a great asset, but if these young guys are just barking behind him like nipping at the bud, and they just if they showing that they're ready to take the to run the house, you kind of got to give it to them, especially if, let's say for example, now I ain't wishing it, I'm not wishing it, I don't want Fred to get hurt, but he gets hurt. It happens every season. Once a season, he'll have a stretch of games where he gone. So let's say, for example, Fred misses 8 to 12 games, whatever it might be. I ain't gonna say whatever injury, but let's say 8 to 12 games for whatever reason. All right, who do we start in his place? Do we bring in a man and maybe slide Jalen to the one? Do we just, have Reed Shepherd start? What do we do, or do we just, bring in a man as the point guard from that point? What do we do? What's the plan? How does that work? How does that look? And however it looks, do we look good? Or the Rockets, playing a little bit more of a favorable pace? Are we playing faster? Are we defending? Well, we're probably not going to defend better. Well, I don't know, man. If it's a man coming in, we'll probably end up defending better. But Fred is also a connector on defense. He's a defensive connector too. He gets guys in their right spots and calls out the right switches and whatnot on that end too. So I don't know, but there's a scenario out there where Fred misses 8 to 12 games. Let's say we win. Let's say it's 12 games and we win 8 of them without Fred. How that look? You know what I'm saying? Especially depending on the competition that we beat. How does that look? What do we look like before Fred go down? Or what do we look like when Fred just goes to the bench? It ain't even got to be an injury. It could be somebody coming in for Fred and the Rockets just look a whole lot better. You know what I mean? That's possible too. It don't have to be just, Fred not being, healthy. It could just be a simple matter of other guys are just better. It ain't got to be that Fred sucks. It could just be that somebody else is just better. Another different configurations just work better. So that's just something I wanted to put on everybody's mind, man. Rafael Stone, he been in his bag this summer. He made some good moves. This would be a real hard move to make because Fred he's a clutch client, and clutch got power. Whoever you even move a clutch client for, they have to like it. The client gotta like it. It ain't no two-way streets with them. It just don't. It don't happen. So there's that. There's Fred is also a strong personality. Is there a team out there that he would even fit well on? That would make sense. Like I said, I'm not calling no teams. I'm not calling no scenarios. Really, I'm saying a scenario, but I ain't calling no specific teams and no specific players coming back. But y'all put it down in the comments below, man. What is a scenario that you think would have Fred, would force the Rockets to have to trade Fred VanVleet? What's the scenario? And if we do have to do that, what's a potential team to keep an eye out for? What are some players back that we could possibly get back for Fred VanVleet? What's a good situation out there for Fred VanVleet? Y'all let me know in the comments down below. It's your man, AK Infinity. This is the Rockets Propaganda Channel, and we out.